welcome to Thank the Maker, a podcast about heroes, princesses, scoundrels, hokey religions, ancient weapons, and all things Star Wars. I am Adam Russell.
Hey, I am Nick Gambarian.
Hey, it's Mike Forrester. What's up, guys?
Hello there.
Oh, just live on the internet.
Wow.
Live streaming to a bunch of people, not just patrons, but anyone who followed the link we sent like an hour and 45 minutes ago.
Definitely
Time
prepared.
management skills. Yep.
Yep.
So this, if you're watching it as a person who's not a patron, you're probably watching it on YouTube via standard upload. We planned on live streaming directly to YouTube, but I don't know, things happened. I won't go into it. But nonetheless, we are live streaming to a whole bunch of people who aren't patrons. Up until this point, it's just been the Jedi Council tier patrons who have been able to watch us live, but we're changing some things up. We're updating and expanding the podcast format. We're launching completely new Patreon tiers tomorrow on May the 4th. Big stuff's happening, so we've got some more people here with us. William Reinke is on an airplane going to Omaha for, I assume, a 311 party. I don't know why else you would go there.
The only explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But Mike Forrester is here cosplaying as Nick Gambarian in the presence of Nick Gambarian.
Yeah. I think you're doing great. I almost wore that shirt.
How did I do? Did I do good? I feel like pretty screen accurate.
That's exactly how you did. You did good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor to cosplay as you right in front of you.
Dude,
It's been a busy 3 months, and thank you for all the times you've covered for me. But I can officially say I will not be as busy as I was in these previous 3 months for like the next 10 months. So
sick.
I don't
Stoked.
believe you. Nah,
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
yeah.
Yo, I have an idea. I don't know where this would be relevant or who would care outside of our patrons and like our immediate friend group, but the two of you should cosplay as each other at Comic-Con.
We should cosplay as each other as Dave Filoni. How about that?
That is a fantastic idea. I like that. I'm
So
in.
Mike, you carry a P-Base. Nick, you carry a MacBook Pro and like a Wacom tablet, whatever, like, can you print out your Adobe Creative Cloud subscription or something and hold that and say on Mike?
On paper, just walk around with it. I paid for this. Yeah.
That's what designers do. They keep their Creative Cloud subscription on paper in their pocket.
Are you a graphic designer? I'm like, hang on, let me pull out this certification here. A receipt
my
for
license.
Creative Cloud.
It's like drummers in movies. They always have a pair of drumsticks in their back pocket. That's just how you live as a drummer.
Yeah. You never
Everybody
know when
knows that.
someone's going to need to hit pots and pans together. Stuff that people dream about. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a drummer or you're in the franchise stomp.
You know,
they
it's in
franchise?
the theater that Stomp was in for ages in New York City. You know, it's in the theater now. As of like now, the Empire Strikes Back.
Nice. Palpatine's wiener.
Hello there.
Hello
Nick,
there
what is
indeed.
it? What is it like? As someone who is intrigued but probably doesn't.
It's some of the most fun Star Wars experience you could have. Like it's more funny and parody than it is sexy because it's billed as a burlesque show. But I think in the title or the subtitle also it clearly says parody, just probably for legal reasons. But it is more ridiculous. It's having fun with Star Wars, which is something we all, we need to do that more.
What you learn from
Not
that?
take it so seriously. It's absolutely. I saw it 3 times when it was in Hollywood. It was the best thing.
Huh. Okay.
Well, you heard it here.
And this is a guy
So-
who's been to the Starcruiser. He said this was one of the best experiences. So
Yeah.
go to
I will
Batuu.
say that there is the happiness and excitement is not on that level, but it's like in the parking lot of the arena of Starcruiser.
Okay.
It's near it.
Okay.
It's adjacent.
So
Yeah,
2-day live action immersive experience. Darth Vader wearing fishnets. I'm with
Yeah.
you. Okay. Okay.
Same diff.
Cool. We got
Same
it.
diff.
We got it. You heard it here first.
Worth going to.
All right. So like I said, we're updating and expanding the podcast format. We're launching a completely overhauled Patreon tomorrow on May the 4th, as one does. You do big things on the big holidays. We'll talk about that in depth later in the podcast, but I'm going to talk about some other things in the meantime because there's a lot of stuff going on. Lots of May the 4th stuff leading up, there's already lots of announcements and everything. Roosevelt's, shout out Roosevelt's.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping a May the 4th Star Wars line of shirts. It's just shirts, right?
I think there are shorts for like matching short sets for some of them, but they put everything on Instagram today. So there's a Visions one that looks great.
Yes.
Then there's a more comic booky. It's almost you could look at them on the Instagram on the Shop Disney account. They did a collaboration post with Roosevelt's. There's a Darth Vader like comic booky one that seems a little bit more in line with a lot of the Marvel designs that Roosevelt's done lately. Looks great. There's one that looks like it's more, like prayer candles, like that kind of art.
Yes.
There's one that
100%.
looks like that of all
Nice.
original trilogy characters, which looks great.
The
can't
Rancor
tell.
and the Gamorrean action figure. That one's good.
Yeah. That one's cool.
40th
There's
anniversary.
the X-Wing
of-
one. There's like a Return of the Jedi X-Wing one where Return of the Jedi is in a bunch of different languages. That might be my favorite one. It looks very classic and of the era. And then this last one here, was this not an exclusive, Mike?
The colorway
some-
was exclusive in Calgary,
Okay.
but that
Yeah.
one in Calgary is like grayish, and then they did a navy blue one, and then they did
Gotcha.
Tomorrow's.
Yeah, same
Tomorrow's is
same
actually
design.
probably the best one.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Great
I need
colors,
it.
and it's also Return of the Jedi. So,
need it.
so yeah, Roosevelt's has some great stuff. Shocker.
Wow.
Shocker.
Dropping at 4 p.m. May the 4th, right?
Mhm.
So get on that. That'll, I'm assuming, be like a limited time availability, limited stock. So get on that.
Yeah, most of their drops are, fairly limited to a couple hundred. So usually once they're gone, they're gone.
All right, well, tell them the code so they can get 20%
RSVLTS.com,
off.
right? Oh, yeah.
The
20%
code.
off with your first order.
My gosh, give them the code.
Promo code, thank the maker.
It's an older code, but it checks out.
It checks out. Pretty straightforward. Also, Sarah, Steven, Dano, and a bunch of other friends are on the Galactic Starcruiser right now.
So jealous.
Celebrating.
Already so jealous.
Yeah, the FOMO is just as real as it was at Celebration.
I'm not jealous at all.
Bayside just played Hawaii for the first time on Saturday, and I got home on Monday, and I just did not want to commit to then flying to Florida and going. Even though I want to be with everyone, I love them all, and I love the Starcruiser, I just couldn't. I think I would have a absolute mental breakdown after the last 3 months that I've had. So here I am.
Here you are,
At
not
home,
breaking
happy.
down.
Exactly.
Wow.
Also, Return of the Jedi is back in theaters for a limited run to celebrate the 40th anniversary of its 1983 release.
Yeah.
I was in the theater with my dad and his best friend at the time as a 3-year-old watching that movie 40 years ago.
That's great.
crazy.
I do remember seeing it, but it didn't make sense to me. I've said this on the podcast before. I do remember seeing it in theaters, but it doesn't make sense that I remember seeing it in theaters because I would have been 2.5, I want to say, because it came out in May, right? So that doesn't really make sense. So through some research, I found out that I must have seen it in 1985 during another theatrical run because that makes way more sense. So yeah, I'm actually seeing it in about an hour and 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Hey,
let's
spoiler, the
do
trailers
this. Yeah.
are things that you've seen. There is the most recent Indy 5 trailer,
Cool.
Great trailer.
Guardians trailer,
Sure.
something else that I don't remember. But, you got a good 20 minutes of wiggle room there.
Gotcha.
You got to get a good seat.
Nothing
though,
brand
right?
new.
Have you ever seen it before?
It's
got to get a good
it's
seat.
assigned seats. I have a decent seat.
Okay. All right. That's
Going with
good.
my buddy
2023, bro.
Ryan.
Okay.
Stoked.
Okay. That's good.
It's my favorite Star Wars.
It is. I think it's
It
actually
is.
a top. It's like it's like the top 5 movie in America right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, back up there.
Amazing.
It's great.
Yeah. Legit.
hope
I'm
they're-
sure.
Like
I don't know the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I hope like Lucasfilm is taking notes of this, being like, maybe we should just re-release the movies every 2 years back to the theater, and people would be like, let's go and see it again.
Well, dude, right before they sold Lucasfilm to Disney, there was the whole plan. Like it was almost completely done, if not fully finished. They were 3D post rendering everything, doing the the digital 3D adaptation.
Wow.
They were going to re-release the whole thing before Lucas did his sequel trilogy. This was all, the rumors that were going around. And they just ditched it when they sold it to Disney because they went all in on the sequels.
Yeah.
I want to be
not that
free
I
of
love
this
3D,
pain.
but it would be sick.
Oh, okay.
I just want to watch
fine.
Star Wars with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Same.
It's
tight, dude. I've seen it twice since it's been back in. And Reinke and I saw it last week. I saw it last night with Kurt and my wife and his wife. And it was amazing. Like, amazing. Super emotional. I cried a bunch of times, as you would expect. But my biggest takeaways were more on the how to just relax and enjoy Star Wars kind of level. Because there's so much goofy shit in that movie. It's definitely the goofiest of the original trilogy.
You talking about that?
I mean, yeah. Even before the special edition, all that stuff in Jabba's palace was super goofy. The full musical number with the stuff is like next level.
Track,
but even
though,
the original,
to be honest,
they're all bops. But it was really, really weird. So like the thing I took away, I was watching it, noticing things like dialogue, noticing the aliens, noticing kind of just almost like slapstick stuff that's in a lot of Lucas and Spielberg movies. Like you look at all the indie movies and it's like a ton of slapstick. It's really ridiculous. But we've got all this nostalgic connection to it. So we lose our frame of reference. We kind of like romanticize these movies and hold them up in a way that, is more emotionally serious to us, despite the fact that they are like cartoons in a way, I noticed a bunch of dialogue stuff and just a ton of stuff. Go ahead.
Way back in the day when we were covering these movies, I think there are a ton of jokes that don't land and have terrible like comedic timing. So when people complain about the sequels having jokes and like the Marvelization of Star Wars stuff, I'm like, there are so many jokes. There are so many lines, I should say, that are meant to be funny, but via delivery, editing, like stuff just doesn't land. So there were attempts in the original trilogy to be funny and they just don't land.
There was an attempt. Yeah, I mean, even in like, the quintessential like top of the mountain pinnacle of Star Wars drama, well, maybe that could be argued now, but until Andor, it was The Empire Strikes Back, like the most serious film, the most artistically directed, the most artistically written film. There's stuff in there that to this day I'm like, ugh, like some cringy stuff that's classic that we kind of laugh with now, but like the the stuck up scruffy looking half-witted scruffy looking nerf herder stuff, like I'm just like, was this funny then? Has this always been this goofy?
Yeah,
it couldn't be because no one knew what those words were. Now 40 years later we know what they are, and it's still not LOL.
Yeah,
it's cute.
That's the
not
thing.
Knee slapping.
Yeah,
get this walking carpet out of my way. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm still
the character.
I'm still waiting to see some carpet in Star Wars. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Mention of carpet. No carpet to be found. Like there's all this weird stuff.
Holiday special.
And Lucas had a way of doing things where he made it not matter. He like sold it so well. Some of it by accident, some of it very much on purpose, but it just all happened to work. But if you really look at it, like we talked about A New Hope when we first covered it, it is a bizarre movie. It's bizarre. All the aliens are just ridiculous. In the cantina to start, and even Chewie to begin with, like this giant dog ape man thing. Like imagine being in a studio, and there's plenty of stories that refer to this. Like they're like, what the hell is this? But it was just so endearing. There's like an endearing quality to all of it that makes it work. But if you really look at it, it's all ridiculous. So Nick, just like you said, the new stuff, if you can step back and zoom out and try not to get caught up in all those emotions that make the old stuff so sacred and separate it from the new stuff, you realize that it's all kind of silly and it's just fine. It's completely fine. So just get out of your head, enjoy it for what it is. That's the lesson I took away from that, in addition to just bawling and crying about every time Carrie Fisher was on screen.
Oh, speaking of which, we get to go see the star.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's the other piece of news. Yeah, Carrie Fisher finally got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I didn't know she didn't have one. Did you guys?
No, it's. I think Hollywood Walk of Fame is not necessarily. I want to say like it's not necessarily all cracked up to what it's like. You have to get chosen, and then you have to pay for it or something like that. So a lot of people just don't do it. It's not necessarily like the biggest award. It's almost like you have to want to have it. If you're asked, you have to be like, okay. So pretty sure like the actor or somebody has to pay for it at that point. So no, I didn't know, but it's a bizarre process, I think, to get on the Walk of Fame to begin with.
But she's getting it tomorrow.
Earned.
Tomorrow at the time of this recording, May the 4th. And we will be there, the three of us. This works out well. We'll be there for Mos Eisley. Surprise. We were contacted via, I don't remember exactly how this went down, but basically, LA Galaxy, the sports ball team, the football team, the soccer team, they're doing a Star Wars night on the 6th. It's Saturday, and their after party at the stadium, the kind of, if you have a ticket, you get to go to the after party type thing that they're doing, is Mos Eisley. They invited us there to basically host the party. So we'll be there. It's not like the others where you buy a ticket separately. You have to have a ticket to the game to get entry because it is in the stadium. We don't know exactly where, but if you're there for the game, you should be able to figure it out.
It's potentially inside a venue in the stadium. However, if you use the link that we've posted a bunch, and there's a ton of you who buy tickets, I think they'll move it outside, which could be a very cool vibe. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's just more about if there's a bunch of people on our end who buy it via that Mos Eisley link, they'll be able to gauge how many poor people are coming.
I'm putting that link in right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So check our socials for that. We've been posting in Instagram stories. We'll post again later. Follow the link. And if you're going to the game already, we'll see you there. If you're not, I'm sure there are tickets available. It's a giant stadium.
It is their Star Wars night, right? It's their Star Wars night.
I went last year for Star Wars night, and it was great.
Sick. Awesome. So it will be a lot like the past Mos Eisleys, but it'll just be the three of us. Nonetheless, probably the best party you've ever been to if you show up.
So let's also break down Friday night. The three of us will be at Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood. Come out and hang with us for Revenge of the Fifth. That will be a great time. And then make sure that you make your way to. There's going to be a ton. I think Jason's in the chat. I think Ramey. We've got troopers that are going to be hanging with us for the show. But I think there's like 40 to 50 troopers at this thing, which is like the most Southern California thing I've heard. But it's crazy how good it's going to be, and a ton of great people, a ton of builders in the community. It's going to be amazing. So, I mean, it's pretty much you pay for a $24 ticket or whatever it is, and then you get a football game and Mos Eisley. So, big deal energy.
Is Roy Kent still coaching, or is that?
He's right here.
Different.
He's right here.
Boy, yeah. Roy Kent is so Han Solo when you think about it.
Oh yeah, good call.
I love him. He's my favorite character since Ron Swanson, hands down.
Agreed. And a good actual person, Brett Goldstein. Like he seems like a real
dude.
I want to be friends with him.
Yeah, same. All right, let's talk about something really quickly before we get into the actual new podcast format and all that breakdown that folks are kind of waiting for. We have a few new things coming up very quickly, new Star Wars content, and then we have a couple things later in the year that we don't have solid release dates for, but we should mention that tomorrow, at the time of this recording, today, if you're listening to the podcast on its release day, Star Wars Visions Volume 2 is dropping all at once again, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And then also Young Jedi Adventures on Disney Plus and Disney Junior. I don't know what the Disney Junior rollout is like because that's still a cable thing, right?
Yeah. So
Still just like a standard cable channel?
it's like they have a standalone app for it too. So it's,
Okay,
it
interesting.
has ads. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for that. My daughter, I have a 6-year-old. We watched the little shorts together and she thought it was awesome. It's like got that perfect like cute ability. And then at the same time, one of the shorts was like, hey, we have to find this magic flower. And they get basically trapped on they get taken away by a pterodactyl and they use their lightsabers and they work together. And I'm like, oh, Star Wars, cool, we're in. So if you have kids and you don't want to make them watch Andor, it's great.
So it's like a true full-on, I mean, as the Disney Junior thing would suggest, like a full-blown Star Wars show for kids.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you have to
No
think about it
ambiguity.
too. They're like Rebels is the show that people used to say it's for kids, right? First episode. My name is Zeb Aurelius. They committed genocide against my whole people. I'm like, all right, it's a little heavy for our first kickoff here, but so what this is actually like for that younger audience, I would say probably like 8, 7, 6 and under, which is really great. It's totally on brand with the rest of other Disney kids shows. And I think it's a really smart move because obviously as so much content is being kind of catered toward a really dedicated fan base, which is fine. We also have to think like, how do you get young kids to be stoked on it? And the content right now is so vast that it's a perfect opportunity to start segueing the idea of like cool guys with lightsabers. The villain is like kind of funny. Looks like a Knight of Ren. It's kind of interesting, but it's set in High Republic time. So it's actually like Yoda's in it and he's younger, but this is actually like 200 years, I think, before Phantom Menace around there. So interesting. Very interesting.
It's cute as hell. That's what I know.
D. Bradley Baker doing
Yep.
voices. It's awesome.
If you were like a grumpy 40 or 50-year-old, though, would you hate it? Would it ruin Star Wars for you?
Well, yeah, but I'm also
If you're
mad.
of that
I'm also mad
breed,
that there's
yes.
women in Star Wars. So I'm
Yeah.
mad about all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Colored people? Women? What?
Yeah.
What are you gonna tell?
Yeah,
what are you gonna
how
tell
dare
me? A woman has a lightsaber? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's
Wow.
not Luke Skywalker. Then why are there even other characters? This is ridiculous.
They should have
Yeah.
never made more Star Wars.
Oh my gosh.
Also, we've got Visions is going to be crazy. Like the new slate of animation studios looks insane. The trailer's insane. I'm so pumped for that. That's tomorrow as well. So we got a lot of stuff to watch. And then in August, as we all probably know, we get the Ahsoka series, the live action series, which from as far as I can tell and the conversations I've had with people who kind of know a little bit in the trailer, it looks like straight up Rebels season 5 in live action.
Yes.
I'm like
Mhm.
insanely, all of us are insanely stoked.
And Filoni wrote every episode.
Every episode. And supposedly 8 episodes and about an hour runtime each is what I saw today.
Let's go.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but I'm
It
stoked. I'm here
seems
for
impossible unless you're Andor.
it. Unless you got cereal and time to just stare at your mom. How do you do it? And then we've got Skeleton Crew sometime in 2023. Still no official date. I'm feeling like that's got to be Christmas. You know, it could be like the last 2 weeks of December, like they did with, what was it?
Boba Fett, right?
Boba, yeah.
Mhm.
Because that's just too big of a production with Ahsoka coming. Like I can't imagine that dropping first, and they're not going to overlap. I wouldn't think.
I didn't even know to expect it this year, so that's news to me, and that's exciting.
I'm kind
could be- I don't
I'm
know.
still
It
waiting for
could
the
get
trailer,
pushed,
right?
yeah.
The only trailer
Yeah,
that we
there's
saw was
no-
at Celebration that wasn't even publicly released, right?
Celebration, it looked great. It looked real good. That description of it being like Amblin influenced Star Wars,
Goonies and
was
in
very
space.
cool. Yeah, there were
I'm
some
in.
direct shots that I saw that I was like, wow, like they should be on bikes riding through that town.
Yes.
It's that sort of thing.
They should
So, I
pass
think-
a Yoda as they're riding
Yeah.
bikes.
Yes.
So that will be Stranger Things in the Star Wars universe. Enjoy. You're welcome.
Just another way to ruin Star Wars.
Yeah. Put kids in it. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
Children.
Come on.
We have a pretty awesome theory about what it could be about. I don't want to get too invested in it because it's so dope that if it's not that,
Have fun.
I'll still enjoy it because it is what it is. I'll still have fun.
I think new thank the maker. We should have fun and we should speculate.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
They're going
I'll
hunting
say it
for
right
this
now.
lightsaber.
Just say it. It's fun.
Oh, my
Have
gosh.
fun.
I'll say it. We won't discuss because we discussed in depth on the after show stuff for patrons a couple weeks ago or whatever. I think it's going to be, again, thinking Goonies, Amblin, like a group of kids on a treasure hunt kind of thing. What's the one item for everyone in the chat? What's the one item, the most like amazing, awesome piece of treasure or, lost item could a group of kids possibly find in the Star Wars universe?
The keys.
What could they be searching for?
To
It's a story for another time. There it is, Brian.
There we go.
Luke's
Got
lightsaber. Yeah. Maz saying, it's a story for another time about Luke's lightsaber. I think now is the time. I
Maz
can't
turns
think
to
of a
the
cooler
camera
concept.
and is like, December 2023 on Disney Plus.
I actually think it's going to happen. Like they walk in, they're like, "We found this lightsaber," and she's going to go, "How old are you? We serve alcohol here. Leave it and get out of here." And that's the end of the story.
Give me that.
Actually, yeah, they
Hit
just
the
leave
bricks.
it
Yeah.
right on the bar, and that's why it's at Maz's castle. That's it.
It's a 9-minute episode.
Yeah, congratulations.
9 minutes.
You heard it here first.
All right. Let's get into the new podcast stuff. I could ask you guys what you're most excited for, and we could have this conversation, but we're all on the same page. It's pointless. So let's talk about the new podcast format. We're moving to a public live stream format, as we're doing right now. We're on Riverside right now. We're not on YouTube because of the stuff I talked about earlier or didn't talk about. But the plan is to stream to YouTube every Wednesday night. So we're going to keep kind of the schedule that we've been doing where, either there's a show on Wednesday.
You just said Bendu.
Nice.
You're familiar.
Guardians of the Wills. Nice.
So either, we have a show on Wednesdays and we record midday, or, in the past we've recorded on Tuesday nights, but it's always come out on Thursday, which we will still do in audio form, but we will be live streaming Wednesday nights. So when there is a show, we've got all day for everyone to kind of watch it, catch up. We'll do our reaction. We'll do a similar format, but a little bit of change, slightly, when it comes to breakdowns and series and films and stuff like that. We'll do most of the usual format. We'll do reactions, we'll do discussions, I love you, I know, and so on, if you're familiar with that. And then we'll take sort of a part of that and make it an additional clip. So I'll probably do like a fully edited type thing with the Den of Antiquities. So all the deep cuts, all the Easter eggs and the callbacks and everything. I think that will be cool as a standalone, maybe like 10-minute segment. That's an additional YouTube clip and probably like an additional audio version as well. So it's all still going to go to audio. You'll still get that on Thursday, maybe Friday for the Den of Antiquities if we do it that way. But the key here is that we're going to reach more people by live streaming to YouTube. Everyone's going to be able to watch it live via video. So you'll get a little bit trimmed up, but a mostly kind of just free form live stream version of the audio from the video podcast in our standard podcast feed. So not a huge change other than the way that we interact with the listeners there. If you can't make it to the stream, you still get the audio. You can still watch the video on Patreon. You can still watch it on YouTube, whatever. And it'll be ad-free on Patreon. That's the big thing, audio and video. It's been that way to some degree for a while. We've been putting these video versions on Patreon, but now we're kind of opening that up.
I mean, for clarity too, for people, it's like YouTube on our end of things, right? Like I'm obviously on the network with Armor Party. I've gotten really busy the past couple months, and I'm looking to have this summer because it did snow like 1.5 feet where I am, and my kid just had 2 snow days on May 1st and 2nd. So when people are like, dude, how's your Boba Fett coming along? I'm like, it's not. My car is buried. I can't even get out of here. I got to find some food. You guys, stop asking me about Boba Fett. So on our side of things, for when we're making this stuff, like it is a ton of work to go through and edit a show to make it to the level of which us in, creative industry, music industry, like we have a certain level of expectation that we want to put out. And so the idea of us being able to like free form it, get on YouTube is kind of us, I don't want to say like unlearning the way that we're doing things, but like we're used to working behind the scenes and building stuff and prepping it. So it requires a little bit more work on our end to, possibly not cuss like sailors, which is really, I'm just looking at Adam about this. And probably Ryan too. Yeah, actually, you guys are certainly in trouble. But I think it's for people to understand, like it helps support the shareability of the podcast. It's hard. Like there's literally some people who for some reason don't listen to podcasts and prefer to listen to shows on YouTube, which is fine. That's awesome. But for us to be able to be interactive and then be super live with you guys in the chat, is going to make the show that much more interactive. It's going to have the ability to be able to get people involved more. It's a more accessible platform. And so I hope when people are looking at both of our shows, because Armor Party is going to do a lot more YouTube content this summer, it's not because of anything like it's not that we're not keeping up with it. We're actually more excited to be able to share it and have accessibility. We're bringing the show to more people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And you get to see our dumb faces.
Oh,
yeah. They are dumb.
You get to see how many Roosevelt shirts we all have.
Oh yeah.
I've got credit card debt. All right. So yeah.
I'm gonna make I think I'm gonna make like a quilt out of mine instead of just wearing the shirts.
Good idea.
I'll just drape that.
Yeah, they're very lightweight though, so be very.
When I was
quilt.
recently home, I came across not a quilt necessarily, but some sort of blanket that my grandmother made in like the 90s using all old Return of the Jedi sheets. And it's pretty worn out at this point, and my mom lets cats sleep on it and stuff like that. But I did find a couple months ago the same Return of the Jedi sheets at an antique store, and I spent about $120 on every single piece that they had. So I'm eventually, now that I have a little bit time off and I could start thinking about these things, I want to find someone who could make me maybe either a jumpsuit, I think would be sick, or nice. At least like a flight suit almost out of it, or at least like a matching shirt and short set. Very bare minimum, at least a shirt, like a button-down shirt.
Yeah. I have one flat sheet. I don't have the fitted. Mm-hmm. It's the Return of the Jedi. It might be the same one that you bought. I think you showed it to me when you got it.
Yeah. You know what's bizarre? And I think I told you this too, and this is bizarre enough to a coincidence to acknowledge this. My grandmother also turned those sheets into curtains. And what I actually bought at the antique store was those sheets that were made into curtains. Like somebody else made them into curtains. I don't know if these are the only two people in the world, my grandmother and then these people that I bought them from at the antique store, but kind of weird.
It's cosmic. Yeah. It's the Force. All right. So like we said, since we're moving to the live stream format and we're opening it up to the public, something that folks have been paying on Patreon for over a year now, since we moved to this like video version for the Jedi Council tier patrons. We have to thank everyone. Like I want to thank everyone who supported us on Patreon the past few years, and especially the past couple since we went 1.1 on Thank the Maker Patreon. That support is literally the only reason this has been possible, the only reason we're still going. And that has enabled us to take this next step and to help us bring Thank the Maker to a wider audience. So we love you and we thank you so much. And these new tiers were created very thoughtfully with that in mind, to give more for similar price points. And, and in addition to our thanks for helping us do this and keep this going, we wanted to make some new tiers that made sense and weren't like, what the hell? I've been paying this much and now you get this. So we tried to level up everything in a way that feels really good. So we want to talk about that and break it down a little bit. More stuff, similar price points, merch on every tier. Granted, merch can include a sticker, even at the lowest tier, but something for everyone on every tier. And I actually have it all broken down here, and I'm going to share my screen, and we can kind of go through it and break it down. So you'll see everything all at once, but we'll talk through tier by tier what the benefits are and how this is going to change. And this should be here in a second. If this computer obeys me.
That's my transitional screen. There we go. And here we are.
Do my betting. There we go. Okay.
Spreadsheets.
I made this in Apple iWork numbers. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I love making spreadsheets. I was actually the bridezilla when my wife and I got married. I had hell of spreadsheets for our budgets. All right. Let's talk about
Ashley Fountain goes,
tiers.
this wasn't made in Canva, that's for sure. No. Nope.
So 4 tiers instead of 3. We did just have, a $3, you get Discord access, thanks for the support, whatever kind of tier. Then we had the $15 tier that would get you access to after show content and all the additional stuff. And then the Jedi Council tier, which would get you the video, live feed, and a shirt and so on. So we really leveled up all of it here. So 4 tiers: Citizen, Padawan, Jedi, and Master Jedi. I'm leaving Jedi Council open as a possibility to see what other cool stuff we can do at a higher tier if people are willing to pay that to get extra cool stuff. And we'll be thinking about what might be worth whatever number we come up with. Maybe we'll hit up Patreon specifically and work on some ideas. But for now, here's what we're working with. Citizen at $5 a month. You'll get access to the private Discord server. Of course, you get that on all the tiers. An ad-free podcast feed. So we've started running ads. We've got the automated ads that come through Spotify podcasts or Anchor, what it's been for a few years.
We have heard your
And we've
feedback
also got
too. We will do different
Yes.
versions of the Roosevelt's ad. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Hey, Adam.
you're
Nick.
still going to hear Watto's little doorbell, regardless. Let that be known.
No, you won't.
So ad-free podcast feed, that'll be audio and video. Citizen tier will also be able to vote in Patreon polls. That was only for the upper 2 tiers before, so everybody gets that. And you also get a sticker. Thank the Maker sticker. It'll be the logo. Good-looking sticker. Looks nice on your base case or your car
Suitcases.
or your trapper keeper, maybe. Padawan tier, $10 a month. Everything else you get in Citizen. So it's going to be like this as you go up. You get everything that the lower tiers get. You'll also get access to an exclusive Discord channel for questions and comments during the live stream. So when we're live streaming to YouTube, and eventually they're going to, once we hit, I guess it's 1,000 subscribers, you get, you can monetize, so you can do super chats and all that kind of stuff. But patrons will still have priority over the general viewers and the super chats when we're live streaming. And we're going to do that in Discord instead of doing it here in Riverside, because we may not be in Riverside broadcasting out to YouTube forever. We may switch to a different platform. So the simplest, most straightforward way is to keep it in the community forum in Discord. So we'll have a channel just for that. During the live stream, we'll label it as such, and you'll have priority. We'll be calling it out just like we call out questions and comments and everything with the Jedi Council tier patrons. All you're familiar with that. You probably heard it. If you haven't been in here, it'll be very similar, but on Discord. And then you'll be able to access the patron-only content, the after-show segments that we do, stuff that's only been for the top 2 tiers the past, couple of years, and the whole content archive. So if you haven't been a Jedi tier patron and you join at the Padawan level for $10, you can go back and see all the old stuff. There are a few old things that I haven't uploaded that I still want to. Like we have video from our last, was it Starcruiser with Ashley Eckstein and a few things? Like some pretty cool interviews that we might just put up unedited, full blown, and we'll throw that on Patreon. And you'll get that at the Padawan tier and up. So Jedi tier, just like the others, you get everything below. You'll also get an exclusive Thank the Maker shirt. I'm thinking about what the one-time shirt will be for this tier. We'll discuss this. Maybe a variant of Mike's design. Maybe we'll do a different colorway of
we're doing
the standard
a new design.
logo.
Nope, new design.
Mhm.
Okay, Mike's making a new design.
New design. You guys want new designs? You got the new designs.
You heard it here first. Mike doesn't have enough on his plate. He wants another helping already.
Yes, new. We want new.
And you'll also be able to watch live Patreon exclusive live streams. So the after show segment and so on. The Padawan tier below, you can watch it once it's up. You know, you'll see the post, you'll watch the video if you want, but as it's happening, live stream in Riverside or whatever else we do post show once we stop streaming on YouTube and we go to, theorize, do whatever the hell we're doing. The Jedi tier will get access to that. So a shirt and then live stream access for the kind of post show thing. Those are the bonuses for that extra $10. And then Master Jedi at $35 a month, you'll get everything listed below here. And you'll also get, rather than just one sticker, you get a quarterly sticker. So there's a Patreon like subscription style thing with merch. So we'll do a sticker every quarter. And you'll also get a shirt every quarter rather than just one shirt. So we'll probably bring back some designs. Like we had a couple that we ended up not being able to print because the printer that we were doing, it was like, a print to order thing. Some stuff that like just the fact that it says Star Wars, like a Star Wars podcast below, like it flags their algorithm that says, no, this is copyright. Some stuff that we're going to be able to launch through this that you're going to be stoked on. So the first quarterly shirt, I'm really, really stoked to reveal, which we'll do probably tomorrow. So you get 4 shirts a year. That'll be awesome. You'll be able to watch the exclusive live streams like we talked about here. And then you'll also get access to what is still going to be called, even though this is Master Jedi, the Jedi Council private live stream. So if I'm editing, I'm just going to stream it. So whether you want to watch me edit and see, get like DaVinci Resolve editing tips or Logic Mix tips, or you just want to hang and just like chat while this is going on, ask questions, whatever, provide insight as I'm doing things. Because sometimes I'll edit and I'll edit in a way where we kind of misspeak and I have to go back and fix something. Maybe in our conversation, maybe we maybe that's part of the process.
I dig that.
So there's
That's dope.
there's some fun stuff there. And I might even every day I sit on my couch and I make a new meme or I do a little edit or whatever.
Meme lord.
So whether it's like the Top Gun edit I did recently for the Mandalorian or stuff like that, I'll probably just live stream that too. And that will be only for the Master Jedi tier. So quarterly sticker, quarterly shirt, extra live streaming stuff. That's what the Master Jedi tier gets for just $5 more than what you were paying before if you were at the Jedi Council tier.
I love it.
Any questions from the dudes here or patrons?
Questions
Does this
for
all
me.
make
Somebody, let me look here. Somebody said, Julia said in the chat, will we have to resubscribe or will the sub just be changed?
So the way Patreon works, it's complex and it doesn't work. You can't change the price of an existing subscription. So to add these things and adjust the prices, because there was a lot of math, and like we said at the top, we're not good at math. To make this all work, I adjusted every tier's price, so I had to make new tiers, all of which will launch tomorrow at noon. So you can go up or down, whatever makes sense for you, but you will, if you want to take advantage of these other benefits, have to choose a new tier. If you've done a yearly purchase, I'm going to have to go back and look at what the Patreon policies are for that. But if you're monthly, you can just cancel the old one, move to the new one. You may be able to just switch it. They've made that easier over time, so that shouldn't be a big deal. And even for somebody who, just joined yesterday or today, like I think someone did, or I saw earlier in the Discord, you're monthly, you just switch to the other one. So got some more options. And I think
lots of women's shirts requests.
I think that's more directed towards Roosevelt.
Yeah. And I would agree.
No. Our Thank the Maker stuff, the women are requesting
I thought we were talking
stuff
about
for them.
Roosevelt's when they said that.
No, we can yell at Roosevelt's
both,
about that too.
Yeah.
We're happy to do
Shouldn't our
that.
site have that option? I think you could pick whatever shirt you want, no? Like whatever blank you want on the Printful site?
On Printful, yeah. But on Patreon, I think it's all unisex for shirts.
Carabas.
Because Patreon prints and fulfills all the orders with this because it's built in where, on your third billing cycle, that's when your merch gets shipped.
Right.
Basically, so people don't sign up for one, get their merch, and just bail.
Yep.
Patreon built that in, which is really nice. But
these
long
shirts,
story short,
the
I
shirts
think it's
will
all
also
unisex.
be exclusive. So I think someone is asking if you're a Jedi tier, either the colorway is going to be unique to, right? That's correct. The colorway is either going to be unique to those upper patron tiers. They will be different from the store, from the shop. So you are getting that level of exclusivity too, which is cool. And when we all hang out at Celebration Japan, you can be like, yo, what up? And we'll know exactly who you are, which is really nice.
Yeah, any designs we bring back, like Mike said, we'll do something special with it. So it's not like you're just going to get another, size medium of whatever the hell you already bought before. So
Cool.
I'm pretty stoked about this. It's going to be, I think, more fun for us. It's changing it up. And the merch and everything else just makes it really exciting. And also, every day, like I said, I'm sitting here in my sweatpants making memes and crap. I'd rather hang out with everyone in stream, and we'll like cultivate that culture of the community in doing more stuff together. And also these exclusive live streams, we've got a ton of ideas for things that we can do. We've talked about live streaming movies forever. We never got around to it because they're, like Mike's talking about earlier, we're just creative people that can't settle for just do the thing. We have to overthink it, but it's getting easier, and we should just do the damn thing.
We're going to do
that's the plan. That's the plan. All right, I'm going to stop this thing and
there we go.
get back.
Nick's got to go see Return of the Jedi in the theater.
Yeah,
He's got to go.
leave. I got to
It's
see
true.
Return of the Jedi. I
Gotta
wonder.
I hope it's good. I hope you like
I
it.
wonder if there's any surprises.
Yeah, how are the reviews?
Who
Is there a
knows?
post-credit scene? Or
All right.
Han Solo will return. So if you're listening right now, subscribe to us on YouTube. I know this was supposed to be on YouTube tonight, but it isn't. Nonetheless, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you search, I think it's now showing up because I did make a playlist of other YouTube streams and podcasts that we were on. So it should populate in a Thank the Maker podcast search. Regardless, I will put a link in the show notes. Find it there, and you'll see this video tomorrow. And again, as we add more content, it'll be easier to find. And then when we cross whatever that threshold is, we'll have a unique URL instead of at Thank the Maker Pod 439-fart, whatever. So we're getting there. We're leveling up. We're doing it like the youths do right now, doing YouTube.
I don't even know if
Audio
I'm
is for
subscribed to
boomers.
YouTube. Let me check. Let me see.
Do it up. So again, to recap, live streaming on YouTube every Wednesday night. We'll be probably a little later than we are this week.
Yeah, if you guys have a
works better
preference
schedule-wise
of
for
time,
everyone.
that would be sweet because we're balancing almost the entire country in terms of difference of time zone. So if
For sure.
you guys are like, hey, I'm on the East Coast and 10 p.m. is really good. I'm on the West Coast and 7 p.m. is good. Let us know because I mean we're pretty liquid here.
And then, like I said, new Patreon tiers dropping tomorrow at noon. That's the plan. It's probably going to be 12:07, if not 12:15, because ADHD. Link in the show notes for the YouTube. Armor Party Podcast is everywhere. At Armor Party Show on social media. Princess and Scoundrel at Princess and Scoundrel. Right? At
Yep.
Princess and Scoundrel on.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a show on the end of that on either of them?
Yes.
TikTok? One of them. They're tagged in every post we ever make. Just do that. Mosh Isley LA Galaxy this Saturday, May 6th. If you have tickets to the game, you get into Mosh Isley. Follow the links in our stories. We're going to post. There's also a post on the actual Mosh Isley account. Follow that. Mosh Isley San Diego, Friday, July 21st, the weekend of San Diego Comic-Con. Tickets are on sale for that.
Yeah.
Some merch in some of those ticket tiers as well. Get it. Come to the best party ever. Enjoy yourself. It'll be tight. My stuff's all at Adam the Skull on social media. Nick?
At Nick Bayside.
Mike?
You can find me at Honda Supply or Armor Party Show on the Instagram.
And at Thank the Maker Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. Patrons, thanks for being patrons this whole time, and we hope you're stoked about the new tiers. See you very soon. Happy May the 4th. And until next week, may the Force be with you. If you enjoy Thank the Maker, you can support us by following and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Or you can support us directly at patreon.com/thankthemakerpod, where you can get access to our Discord server, exclusive content, exclusive merch, our recording live stream, and more. Our patrons quite literally make Thank the Maker possible.